Hey, how are y'all? My name is Diamond. I go live randomly sometimes, and this is one of those times. Usually, when I have time, I put the chapters of the conversation. Oh, my hair's everywhere. Um, Chapters of the conversations down in the description box so you can follow the conversation because we go all over the place. But I want to talk about what y'all consider queer. Hey, Brandon. Hey, Java. Hey, Gigi. Hey, Miss Polk. How are y'all? It is late, so we'll probably be up late, maybe. Um, yeah. Let me see. I am really good. My week has been productive. Hey, Naira. My week has been productive and good. Nothing bad at all. I just woke up. Perfect timing. Work just woke up at 11 p.m. What time is it there? It's 11 p.m. here. 11:16. Hey, Ty. Come on, 12. You're on the East Coast. Come on, East Coast baddie. East Coast baddie. I am over here eating some tuna salad I made. What y'all put in y'all tuna salad? I be putting what y'all like in y'all tuna salad? Because I be putting some stuff that some people don't like, but I love it. I call my tuna salad white people tuna salad. Because to be having stuff in it that black people be like, oh, that's so that's your rank, Brandon. So apparently they are ranking people's participation in the chat. And so the more you participate, the higher your rank is. That's something new. We talked about it last live too. We was like, what's going on? What's that? But I did some research and it shows there's a little thing that I can click that says community, and it in the chat it tells you who is the chatters, the high chatters or whatever. Thumbs up if you are new here. Thumbs up if you owe here. You should know to thumbs up as you come in. All right, let's see. So Ty says she does tuna, red onion, craisins, pickle relish, Q pie mayo. What's that? The purple top. Oh, thank you. This is a little linen little. It's long little linen thing because it's hot, so you need a little something light and light. So what I put in mine is tuna, eggs, Granny Smith apples, pecans, a little bit of Old Bay, salt, pepper, olive oil Miracle Whip. I know some people don't like Miracle Whip, but I do, especially in stuff like this. Olive oil based Miracle Whip, relish, sweet relish, coarse ground mustard, like mustard stone, the ones with the stone in it, the coarse mustard that's like not the regular yellow, but like the one with the mustard seed in it, the coarse. Stone, I think it's stone ground mustard or something. Excuse me. Mustard egg. Did I say eggs already? Hard-boiled eggs cut up. Red onions, garlic, like minced garlic, a little bit of it. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. And I love to, and so when it's done, it looks like that. Hey, Marissa, I prefer chicken salad. So chicken salad, what I love in chicken salad, very similar, but not the same. So chicken, I do purple grapes or red grapes cut in half, tarragon, just white mayo, like Hellman's, not Miracle Whip, Hellman's, because I don't like my chicken salad to be as tangy as I like my tuna salad. Just white mayo, tarragon, salt and pepper, like pink salt. I prefer that anytime. Pepper. I also don't like regular black pepper. I like the peppercorns that are like a medley of peppercorns, like black, yellow, red. I love that kind of pepper. Your chicken salad, yes, that is exactly how I like it. I didn't do the Trader Joe's, but I do the whole food ones. They be fire. More savory and salty than sweet chicken salad. Yes, I like mine to be more savory and salty. Well, the sweet comes with the grapes. You'll get a bite of the sweet when you'll get, if you get a piece of the grape. So there'll be burst of flavor. Everybody will be different. I actually like I like my food to do that. Where every bite you getting is going to be, even with my tuna salad, if you get a piece of the apple, it's going to give you that tart apple sweetness, and then the salty of the fish, and everybody is going to be different. Everybody is going to be different. Lemon pepper in my chicken salad. That does sound good. Hi, Chris. All right. Now that we done talked about food, because we're big back, big back, big back, big back. All right, let's talk about queer. Do y'all use the term queer? Like, is this something that y'all have I know some queer people people who I would consider queer, who have an aversion to queer. And I understand the history of, the language around queer being weaponized against us. And I understand it. Let me cut this light on because, baby, yes, it was looking real dull. Perfect. What is this little strand right here? This needs to move over, girl. Thank you. I use the term queer to describe myself. So do I. I consider myself a queer woman. No, I don't. My friends in Florida beat niggas ass over that word. Yeah, queer wasn't really. I don't want to say it, I never heard it, but that's white people say queer in the derogatory. I rarely heard black people say queer as a derogatory. That was really white, and where I'm from, I didn't really hear, unless I would, like, a white boy would call me queer, but not like I rarely was around white people like that. So we're talking about the word queer. I don't use the word, but I'm also don't feel offended by it. I'm neutral. That's legit. I think it's the equivalent to a non-black person calling someone colored. I don't know if I equate them, but I can kind of see. I could kind of see what you mean. What part of Florida, Raven? It wasn't derogatory in the Panhandle. All right. So the term queer has a complex and evolving history. Originally, it was considered a derogatory slur, but kind of reclaimed by many people in the LGBTQ plus community as a positive or, empowering term. It's the meaning of it could kind of vary, um, depending on the context of how you're using it, but generally it encompasses like non-normative sexualities or non-normative gender identities. I don't separate, like when I'm thinking about queer, it could be about your identity, but it also could be about your sexuality, both in and or either or. Um, um, so let's see. I identify as queer. I feel like it describes me best. I agree. Same. A queer woman feels good. It feels like trans woman. It feels like a uh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like queer. Queer allows me room. It feel more expansive. It don't feel rigid for me. And I like that. There's certain things I want to be rigid about. Um I describe myself um as trans, specifically short for transsexual. I don't mind transgender. I know it's an umbrella term, a catch-all. But I do consider myself a transsexual. I'm not offended by transsexual. I know transsexuals kind of get antiquated, but I come up in a time that is what that resonated with me. In the old school definition of it, I'm okay with transsexual. I know some people are not, but I'm okay with it for me. So I don't mind somebody calling me transsexual. Um, but queer, I like queer. And I think of queer as three things. I think of it as a political stance. I think of it as a sexuality, and I think of it as identity. So I'm trying to help. So when I think of it queer as a political stance, okay, in a political stance, queer is used kind of to me to kind of challenge and disrupt like heteronormative and cis-normative structures in our society. It it represents like this critical stance against the idea that heterosexuality and and being cisgendered is the default or superior to ours. Like I don't believe that. I believe that while it may be the norm or whatever, it may be um in regards to that, I don't think that it's necessarily right. Yay, confetti. I don't think it's necessarily right, like this is the natural way. I don't consider my queerness to be unnatural. I don't consider my queerness to be abnormal. I think that if people were able to be more honest, more people would be queer. I think it would be a natural thing for people to be queer. If everybody was able to freely act on having a nuanced identity or a nuanced sexuality instead of being pigeonholed into an identity and how that identity is supposed to be expressed, I think more people would be queer. Like if it was more free in the world, more people would, and because more people would do it, it would be seen more natural. Because I think a lot of the things that we say are natural are just socially constructed to be natural. That's why to me, excuse me, God, making me get the hiccups. Um, I think one of the reasons why the bee is one of the most popular um has the most numbers is because more people are bi. I think more people are queer and bisexual and bisexual is on that binary um um problematically. But I think more people are fluid, and that fluidity can be I think if more people were allowed to do it, we would see it more often. But because of religion and social norms and blah, 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 I think we don't see it as often as we would see it. But we see it a lot more often because we are queer and we get exposed not only to the straight people, but the down low cis people. Oh, and celery. I forgot. I put celery in my very fresh and crispy celery in my tuna salad. Okay. So let me say that being queer as a politic, just like I said, is me feeling that heteronormativity and being cisgendered are not the default and are not the superior norms. I have that as a politic. Okay. Queer politics often seek to dismantle systems of power and privilege that disadvantage LGBT folks. Duh. advocating for we're usually advocating for social justice, equality, and liberation for all of the gender nonconforming identities, like um, or sexualities. So anybody that's out of the box, um, anybody who is kind of out of the box in regards to their identity and their sexual orientation outside of the gender norms, I feel like that they should be, we should be doing the work to dismantle systems that marginalize them or disenfranchise them. So I'm advocating for all the social justice and equality and liberation for those things. Um, see. I think that because of that, it can be a term of collective activism, kind of uniting all the broad spectrum of people that fall within that shared experience of being marginalized due to their sexual orientation or gender identity. Um, we are often, people who are politically queer, we are often resisting assimilation into the mainstream society. So for me, that goes back to the early days of my transition. Earlier days of my transition, because based on the history of trans people and the lack of safety, it was safe to pass. So passing was important to us because it just made your life easier. And while I don't regret doing anything that I done to be passable, I don't regret anything like that. Um, I am of the political mind that I want people who don't want to get surgeries, who don't want to be on hormones, who don't want to do all the stereotypical stuff that they told us to do when we were young. If they don't want to do that stuff and still live the life however they want to live it, I want them to be more safe in the world too. They shouldn't have to pass for being cisgender just to be safe. Now, that doesn't mean the world has changed. Um, that doesn't mean the world has yes, I only use albacore, Raven. um yeah, I that is I want I think while I have led my life to be passable and I want to go out in the streets and not be pointed at. I want to go out in the street and not be harassed. I want to create a world where that's not important. So that's a part of my politics. And so I want people to be able to be wherever they are on the spectrum, um, wherever they want to be on the spectrum, and they're not being harmed or marginalized because of that, because they're not quote unquote assimilating into the mainstream society. I want queer to be the mainstream. Um, of course, queer as a theory is also like a academic in the academic realm. It's about analyzing and deconstructing like traditional understandings of gender and sexuality, highlighting their fluidity and their changing binary categories. This is what we are always discussing. We are always discussing these, and when we are analyzing them, analyzing our identities and our sexuality, there's all those things that we have come to know to talk about these things, and how they are changing and evolving. That is all queer theory on an academic discipline level. Um, in the sexual sense, when we talk about queer, in the sexual sense, queer can broadly refer to any sexual orientation that is outside of heterosexual. Okay. There's some nuance in there for me, but that's in general. Um, that can include lesbians, gays, bisexuals, pansexuals, asexuals. Some people find that controversial, but that's because they don't understand that asexuals kind of have a range. They're like a range. Some of them is like, I'm just asexual and don't feel it at all, and some of them I just don't feel it as much as y'all. It's ranges, um, ranges of asexual, and that's still being a sexual identity, or just any other non-heterosexual attractions. Okay. It kind of functions as that umbrella term for like sexual minorities. Of course, we are acknowledging the diversity of sexual experience behind gay and straight. Everybody think everything's black and white. You either gay or you straight. it's instead of it being kind of like fluid for some people. What do you think about the fact that heterosexuality was invented along with homosexuality? What do you mean by invented? You talk about just the word, or um, any type of sexuality? I don't think sexuality was invented. I just think that that is the nature of um, the nature of any mammal or sex having thing. I just think that's natural. But creating as an identity, um, I just think humans categorize things, and so they're gonna name something what it is. We like to categorize things. It makes things simple. I think the problem comes in when we try to stick to these rigid rules around those categories when they're so, and we when we become resistant to um, adjusting or adding, expanding and adding and making more categories and nuancing one category. When we come resistant to that, that's when it becomes a problem because we try to fit people in these boxes and it doesn't work for people who are outside of those boxes. And so that's what I think about it. I think we are trying to classify people, but I think that's normal. That's like what we do to animals. But the problem with animals and people, the problem with people that we don't have with animals is that when we see new things, when we see new heterosexuality wasn't the word, the category was invented during that time, but the actual what we're describing was not invented during that time. It's just normal sex, but the word, sure. Um, the issue with animals, when we find new animals, we just categorize them differently. Oh, we found a new frog in the Amazon. Let's add this new species to the collection of other frogs. When we find and when we find, like, let's say ants, we find ants that do something, that there's an ant that fucking shoots poison out of its face and to hit people and acid or something. And then there's an ant that does something else. You know how many different types of damn ants everywhere is there? Is in in our world. It's tons of ants, but we don't politicize ants. We just say, "Oh, well, it's a new kind of ant." But with people, because of religion and culture and social norms, we make it turns into this negative thing, this kind of socio-political thing where you have to no, there's only two genders instead of it being nuanced as we are more open to when it comes to animals, which is kind of surprising. So, what there's tons of kind of fun queer as a sexual identity, a sexual orientation. It kind of functions as kind of like an umbrella term, of course. Some individuals use queer to express more complexity in their sexual attraction that may not fit neatly in the labels of heterosexuality, the labels of homosexuality, the labels of the labels of the labels that we're categorizing them in. Prior to the late 19th century, there were no distinct categories for sexual orientation, such as heterosexual and homosexual. People engage in sexual activities and form relationships without labels. That is a lie. It was other labels used to describe heterosexual and homosexuals, but they labeled it. If you go back to the Mesopotamia, they talked about sexuality in it may not be labeled heterosexual or homosexual, but they had another label for it. You got to understand that language is a ever evolving entity. So if you're talking about a definitive time when that particular label became popular, sure. But if we're talking about, but there's different words in the 19th century, we weren't called African American, but we existed. But it doesn't really, I don't know what, um, I would ask, why are you offering that? Like, if it, why, I would ask, why are you offering that distinction? Why are you, why is pointing out that heterosexual and homosexual became popular in the 19th century? Why is that important to you to add to this conversation? That's what I would want to know. Yeah, I disagree with that. Yeah, African American 70s, 80s. Yeah, I think some things are just categories. I think some things are we label things just like it's like saying, "Oh, male and female didn't become popular till this time." But male the idea of what a male and female is has been around. They may not have used that language, but it's been around and it's not connected to capitalism. Now, when we start to get in capitalistic cultures, that the 19th century really, really boosted up even more. Then to keep up that system, we started enacting these rules about what a female is, what a heterosexual is, what a black is, what a white is, all these labels start to get a more capitalistic definition, but they've been around. It's almost like you're implying that everything started in the 1900s, in the 19th century, not 1900, 19th century, and I just don't agree with that. It just was called something else. It was just called something else. So, yeah, I don't agree with that at all. They identified as something. It just may not have been called homosexual. They might not have used that language, but there was something they used to describe a man who was attracted to a man and not attracted to women. There was language that was used around that. We saw it's in multiple writings and books. It exists. The language changes, but the idea does not. So, what I wanted to ask y'all is, what do y'all consider queer sex? Give me some examples, Jay. Me being a trans femme, anybody who has sex with me is having queer sex. Anything outside of sex, anything outside of sex for reproductive purpose is queer to me. So jacking off is queer to you? Masturbating? Okay. Anything not definitely anything that's not definitely gay sex or straight sex. Give me some examples, Jay, other than you being trans femme. And that means everybody who could hook up with you is having queer sex. Everybody. Interesting. So, Yeah, I think I'm similar to y'all. I wouldn't consider masturbating queer sex. I wouldn't consider that, but I consider it's not definitely not based in reproduction, but I consider anything that's kind of like out of the norm. I think it like for example, so if a cisgender man and a cisgender woman have sex, that is just queer sex. I mean, that is just heterosexual sex. But I don't think if a lesbian and a gay man came together to experiment with each other, I think that's queer sex, even though the body parts is dick and pussy. I consider them still having queer sex. Like a lesbian and a gay boy just say, "Oh, we in the mood, we want to do it. Let's see how it works." And they just do it. I consider that queer sex. Um, yeah, I think I agree with you, Jay. I'm sitting here pondering on who could I sleep with that it wouldn't be queer sex? Nobody. I feel like because I'm a queer bodied woman, yeah, I think I agree. I didn't think about it like that, but I'm trying to while reading that, it kind of was like everybody, but then I'm trying to think of who could I sleep with as a trans film that I would consider it not queer. Nobody. Nobody. As a queer body woman, no. Because if I'm with a cisgender man, he's gonna engage with my penis. That's queer. I wouldn't necessarily call it gay sex or bisex, but I would call it queer sex for sure. So, and if I dated a woman, like a cisgender woman, if we're having sex because of my visual, even though it's penis and pussy, because of my visual, yeah, I think that it is still queer. Um, this reminds me of that conversation, Needy and Maddie. This is inspired by that conversation. T, this is inspired by that conversation. Maddie posted the video on her timeline, and in her caption, she separated queer identity from sexuality or something. Like she didn't put them together, queer and sexuality. She said queer is an identity, but not a sexuality. And I disagree with that. I don't agree with that. I think queer can be a sexuality and also can be an identity. And that's why I'm talking about it on a political level and on a sexual level and identity level. I think that it can play a part. I think that you can be queer sexually and queer as an identity. I know some heterosexual people in my life who I think are queer as fuck. There's a girl, she's Janicia. She's been on our show multiple times. I've seen her, Janicia J from Tea with Queen and J. I think Jay is not sexually queer, but I think that she is yet. I think that she is. I think she's queer though. I think she's really queer in her identity, but I don't think she's sexually queer because her politics are queer. Um, yeah, I think that yeah, that's how I see her. Um, she's in the playlist, my Empower Her retreat. She's in the video with and we talk about this. She's in the video with Aria. If you want to go back and check it out. Um, yeah, I think she's queer. I agree. I think Maddie was going off the aesthetic of women doesn't make the attraction gay. I don't agree, but I understand her perspective. But also, I think the problem with Maddie and Nene, I don't think either one of them have the range to talk about it. But I also, just in regards to what you said, sexuality is a lot of things. There's a lot of layers and a lot of steps. So, okay, so if I see I'm a quote unquote straight man, and I see a trans woman and I'm attracted to her. I don't know she's trans, but regardless of whether I know she's trans, that's a trans woman. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, regardless if it's kind of like somebody saying, well, I don't know, she's trans, regardless if you know it or not. She's trans. So after you're attracted to her, you can't say that you've never been attracted to a trans person because she's trans. Well, I thought you was a woman. No, regardless of what you thought, I'm trans. So now you have come into the realm of being attracted to me. Period. Like, that's just what it is. It's like it's no going back there. So you can never go back and say, "Oh, I've never been attracted to a trans person." Yes, you have. You have. Whether you thought I was cis and da 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 blah 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 whatever, this is how I look. Like, even it kind of goes back to that statement that people say about trans people. Oh my God, you don't even look trans, but I am trans. So how are you telling me that I don't look what I am? This is how trans look for me. What you really mean to say is, uh, I don't look like a man. Like, what? How? Because if you see me, you say, "Oh, you don't look trans at all." This is what trans looks like, though. So regardless of what you think trans looks like, this is what it looks like because that's what I am. So what's wrong is you. You can't say. Does it make sense? You get what I'm saying? So there's the initial attraction. So it's like, oh, okay, I'm attracted to this person. I get so bogged down with that. You don't look like shit. I still have a dick, so now what? um Queer and norm are mutually dependent. You are totally right, TG. Um you so that's the initial attraction, all right? That's the initial attraction. So you are attracted to a trans person. Now, when you find out I'm trans, that attraction doesn't stop. You just choose to not act on it. This goes back to when people say, is homosexuality a choice? Yes. The choice to act on the attraction, that's where the choice is. Like, I can say just on the basic of gay and straight. I'm a man, I see this other man. I don't control my attraction to him. Like, when I see him, if I'm a gay man, when I see him, I'm just attracted to this guy. He's just attractive, just as I'm unattracted to somebody else. I walk down the street. I don't know I'm going to run into them on the street, but I see him. And I'm like, damn, he is fine. God, I'm attracted to him. He's so beautiful. He's attractive. He turns me on. God, he got sexy lips. He got sexy eyes. Da, da, da. That part of the attraction, I don't know about y'all. I don't control that. It just happens. I see a random person, look up, whatever the history of my brain that tells me what is attractive, it just is. It just is. This is attractive to me. I don't control that. What I control is acting on that attraction. Do I actually pursue the sexual actions with the person? And that is a choice. That part of it is a choice. You are choosing to go against your natural attraction when you don't want to act on it. So if a man sees me as a trans woman and he's initially attracted to me before he knows I'm a trans woman, then he chooses to not act on it. So when he chooses to act on it, how is he engaging with you? That's and everybody make the rules. Everybody makes different rules. So if he finds out I'm a trans woman and I don't have a penis, I have got my gender reassignment surgery. I have da 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 da. And he engaged with me in the same way that he does a cisgender woman. How queer, how gay is that? This is complicated. I'm just going to listen. Yeah, that's why we talk about it, to talk through it and engage with it. Yeah, and that's the problem with people. They try to make something complicated black and white, and it's not black and white. It's queer. It's queer. That's the problem. When people try to make it black and white and make something that is complicated or complex, not necessarily complicated, but complex, into something that is super, super simple. No, he just gay. Oh, if she ever had a penis, he just gay. He just gay. Just gay. Gay. And when you do that, that becomes the problem. So now, is it queer? If she has a vagina, and then that comes into people's how queer people consider that depends on how valid they consider the pussy. Clock this. So if I think that your pussy is just a inside out dick that done been chopped and screwed into a pussy, there ain't no real pussy. That's still a dick, just turned inside out. That's still a dick. So him fucking with you is still him fucking a dick, a mutilated dick. Then I have made these rules around body parts, trans people's body parts, to still consider him gay. Ah, man, that's still a man. So now I have made these rules. Not me, but you know what I mean. Or now, flip side, if she has a penis and you choose to engage with her, just the choice of doing it, are you queer? These are where the lines can be, and I'm just sharing y'all multiple lines. If she has a penis and you know she has a penis and you continue to engage, but we're thinking, we know that that's basic. But what if you don't do anything to the penis and you just do what you can in regards to, like, stick your penis in her booty like you would a cisgender woman? You don't do anything with the penis, but you so attracted to her and you respect her womanhood, but let me if you're listening, make sure you thumbs up. Let me do what I can do with her. I don't want to suck no penis. I don't want no penis in me. I don't want to engage with no penis. But I have anal sex with cisgender women, so this is what you can do. So we'll do the anal sex part. Is that queer? This is a negotiation. This is a sexual negotiation of how far you want to go. If the basis of your choice is your heteronormative actions, is that queer? I'm not saying, I'm just asking the question. I don't think that there's no right or wrong answer. I just think that it's cool to discuss deeply. That's queer straight sex. um, but do you think the same thing with the neo vagina, Jay? Ooh, it's pegging queer. I think so. I don't think it's necessarily gay, but I think it's queer. I think so. Pegging is very queer to me. I don't think it's the same with the vagina. Hmm. Why? Why is the vagina the definitive line and the penis is not? Why is that the definitive line for you for queerness? Pagan and anal seems queer even amongst heterosexuals. Yeah, I think it's queer down. I don't know if anal is anal. Why? Okay, then Brandon, another question. Why is anal queer? Because vagina is a hole and anal is a hole. Why is it for you that's your definitive line? Anal is queer, even in heterosexual, but just vagina is not. Why is the anus all of a sudden more a more queerer hole than the vagina hole? Since like if you're a cishet man and a cishet woman, why is that anal hole the queer hole? I feel like he's going off what he sees. But what if you a queer what if you're a trans woman with a penis, but he doesn't actually see your penis, but he knows you're trans, but he doesn't actually see your penis. If we're going off of what he sees, is that still queer? And he's fucking your ass. Is it only queer if they have a prostate? Ooh, we getting these we getting see how it gets strange? Based on the rules the straight set, anal is queer. Do they set the rules? Do you let them set the rules for your taste? Because of them, the gays have to do that because they have no other options. Really? You think that? Because of them, the gays have to do that. When you say that, define what that is. They have to do anal? I think they have to. I don't think that that's because the straights. I think that's because it's a hole and the dick feel good in a tight hole. I don't think the straights make the gays do anal. I think that it's a penis and the penis likes to pump in tight holes. Is it only queer if you have prostate? I read that. What do you think of all the identity categories that have popped up? Does this cause lack of cohesion in queer politics? No. I think that people's lack of education and openness to understanding new concepts and ideas and categories causes lack of cohesion. I don't think us getting new words. I think that's where not necessarily debate, but what you talk about, like when you talk about the 1900s, I think what you consider popping up is just new language. I don't think new language popping up around things giving you a deeper understanding of things like non-binary in the recent 5-10 years we've been hearing non-binary as an identity, and it's become popular to talk about. But non-binary people have been around forever. We just called them something else. We called them something else. We didn't have the deep language to talk about it. Androgynous. When we think about Boy George, when we think about so many different non-binary people, we just didn't have the language for it. And so I don't think that it just popped up. It's here. We're just evolving, and we are evolving our language to explain things deeply. And people resist explanation or resist accepting new information. They resist it because of religion, because of laziness. I think some people are just intellectually lazy. I think some people are literally just not. Oh, this is just getting too much. I think that people are like that. The emphasis on individual identity and the fluidity of category can lead to a focus on personal liberation and self-expression, which can be commodified and marketed within a capitalist system. I think you're obsessed with capitalism. While capitalism is important, I don't think that that is something that is necessarily capitalism bad, but personal liberation and self-expression, capitalism is the bad part, not the actual identity or fluidity. I don't think that that's a problem. Personal liberation, I don't think that that's a problem. In a capitalist system, many things can be commodified. The housewife, the which is a label, um, um, anything, any need that you can have that somebody can exploit and sell to you can be in a capitalist system, can be something. I don't think it's necessarily being a housewife is a problem or identifying as a housewife is a problem. But once you identify as a housewife, then they're going to start uh, commodifying dishwashing liquid to you. Dishwashers and refrigerators and vacuums and da 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 da. Now it's like, ooh, we have this demographic of housewives, so let's sell them something because they're housewives. Mm. Jay says, I guess if he doesn't see the penis, it's not queer for him. But me over here with the leg over lamb, still queer. Leg over lamb with the leg of lamb. What do you mean? What does that mean? Is it a joke that I didn't get? Put me over here with the leg of lamb. Does that mean you have a big penis? Is that what you mean? Is this a big penis joke? But still a maybe because him knowing it's there still blurs the lines. I agree. I think just knowing it's there is enough to be taboo and to be a edge, to give it like an edge of, ooh, this is hot. I'm doing something out of my norm. And I think people underestimate the attraction the attraction for taboo things. Arrogance equals ignorance. Trade, not seeing the meat and knowing it's there, definitely be turning them on. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the room. They just limit their engagement with it and get it minimum gay in their heads. I think that negotiation is how many people navigate queerness and the fluidity of sexuality. I think we're talking about it way over here in the deep end of queer sex, but when we even think about dudes in heterosexual sex that accept getting their ass ate either as, oh, no, that's gay, or, ooh, this is just me being freaky. I think that even the fluidity between those things, who creates the line? Me and Jay is talking about the line of seeing and not seeing penis, but they are talking about the line of tongue in the ass and not no tongue in the ass. Do you see what I'm saying? There's always a line for different people. And the fact that we are not debating, but even discussing where your line is, like what's the line, and how people can be honest and not be honest about the line. All the ills of the world have roots in intellectual deficiency and the inability to understand nuance and context. Absolutely. Um, And CL, it's been longer than that. The men hiding their sexuality. The urban language of DL. It may be new. I know JL King came out with the book in '04, but we've been talking about DL for shit since the 90s, 80s and 90s. Um but um but yeah, but it's been around. Men hiding their sexuality has been around, men and women. Because a lot of times also DL, we like to center men. There's a bunch of fucking DL women, bunch of DL women. They just don't get the slack that men get for some reason. There's a bunch of DL women. Even though it's more fluid for them to be accepted, they still be hiding that shit. There's tons of fucking undercover muff divers. Do a lot of men really want trans women to top them, or do you think this is a niche group? More broadly, how come people think when a man messes with anything over other than by a woman, then they want dick? Um, hmm. I don't think that's unique to DL. When millennial became a term, then it becomes a commodity. That's every when any that's I don't think that's unique to DL. I think that's unique to any label. When teenager didn't used to be a thing. Like being like the teenage group, that didn't used to be the thing until like the 50s and 60s. But were teenagers around? Yes. But like the group to commodify as a teenagers, them making shows around them making teenage clothes. Teenager was not a thing. Were teenagers around? Yes. But the culture of teenage culture is actually, yeah, only like 75 years. Like in the 40s and 50s. 50s, really. Um, I remember Ice-T and the Law and Order show did a whole episode talking about it like it was epidemic. I remember that show. That's why they have babies all over the place. I'll die on that hill. I don't care. It's way more than them, than DL man. I agree. Um, do a lot of men want trans women to top them? I want to answer that. And y'all girlies, tell me if y'all experience this. If y'all are pre-op, or is that still a thing? Pre-op, post-op. If y'all or non-op. If y'all still have y'all penis. If you had to guess how many men that you slept with that wanted you to top them, what's the percentage? If you had to guess. Out of all that you slept with, not the ones that um you just come across. Only one? About 30% for me. Capitalism is going to capitalize regardless of the subject. Regardless of the subject. Are we including Johns? Yes. If you are a trans woman and you have a penis, how many men, in your experience, in percentage wise, want you to top them? This is me asking because TG asked, do a lot of men really want trans women to top them? Or do you think that this is a niche group? More broadly, how come people think that a man messing with anything over other than a bio woman, they want dick? 10%. God, y'all numbers is low. Y'all numbers is low. Y'all bitches said 10. Y'all be attracting. Yeah. Oh no. It's a requirement to sleep with me. 90% baby sister. I don't think I that's where my numbers is. it's it's not a requirement, but head is my requirement. You ain't got to give up no cakes. Um, you ain't got to give up no cakes. You got to give up that mouth though. That's a requirement. Now, cakes. This is where the nuance for me. Cakes. For me to want, now this is where the kind of taboo nature comes in of my own personal journey. Cakes is a different kind of thing. So, gotta give up that mouth. That's like you gotta give head. Like you can't fuck with me and not give head. But cakes, in order for me to like your cake, for me to want your cakes, they have to look good. So the cakes gotta be, they gotta be pretty cakes that I want to. They gotta be nice looking cakes, nice looking ass. That's number one. So that's, you gotta be nice. They gotta be bubble butt cute ass. Um, with a pretty hole. um, but there has to be a prestigious allure to them. I gotta you ain't gotta be no virgin. I ain't gotta be the first one to get up in them. But there has to be a delusion of me. And it's a delusion because I done mess with niggas. Um, I know they done got slayed multiple times, but you can't be just eager wanting to get plunged. I don't like that. It'll turn me off. If you just a dig demon, as soon as you come in the house bending over, if there's some type of resistance, that's sexy. Not no rapey resistance, but like, I want to, like, I want to try it. I want to explore it. I ain't just down for it. I appreciate your 70%, Rosa. You're not trans, but I thought we were including pegging. I think it's different. I think it's different if you're not trans. But the question was about trans women, so that's why I was just making it that, just to answer T's question. Um I throw the idea out there and they will at least consider it. At 70%, if you're a cis woman, that is high. I'm surprised. 70% is high to me. Um but yeah, if it just the I don't want a man that bottoming is the center of his sexual world. I want a man where topping is the center of his sexual world, but but if we in the moment and we having fun, he ain't gonna resist playing around. Because I'm not always like feeling topping. Yeah. I'm not always like, oh my God, let me get to your cakes. That ain't my thing. That's just not me. I do think my default is verse. My default, my default is head. You can come over and give me some head, and I give you some head and send you home, and I will be fully satisfied. My default is head. I love head. It is my tea. Giving and receiving. That's my tea. But as far as getting pounded and pounding, my default is to be the bottom. But I'll get in your cakes if they love cakes, and I know this is something that you're gonna live for in an experimental way. Like, it ain't really my thing, but I like you, so let's do it. Yeah, something about, and there's an illusion about it too. But honey, role play, baby. I need you to role play with me. You can't be, oh, shooting it up as soon as you come in the house. I don't even like you to say it, actually. Like, I don't even like you to like express it verbally. It'll turn me off. Yeah, I don't even like you to say it. Baby, I want to stick my finger back there and feel you moan a little bit and then put the condom on, lube it up, and put it on the end. I don't need you to say nothing. I don't really the talking about it. Yeah, if you get to talk about, oh, stick that cock in me, baby. Oh no, I'm out of here. Get out the door. I can't do it. I'm going. First of all, it's going to trigger my sex worker mode. Like, where's my rate? It's going to trigger. It's gonna do too much to my brain. Do I know any girls who love to top? I know tons of girls who love to top. My sister loves to top. They're in the room with us. You gotta gobble them, they back, and then go down and watch them legs elevate for sure. Yeah, my goal is for you to be like a verse top. That's what it is. Like, if I had to categorize people, there's nuance to this. That's what we're talking about this for. I like a verse top. Like, I love a guy who loved to give oral, who loved to beat your cakes in, got the amount of peace that you need. But every now and then he want to get slayed too. Oral verse top. Yeah, you gotta be that. Anything. It dig too. Ah, yeah, stick that dick in me, diamond. No. Anything like that, I can't do it. That's gonna turn me off. Just the verbal of that is gonna trigger my dysphoria, darling. It's gonna trigger my dysphoria, honey. I'll be like, oh no, shut up, be quiet. Ooh. Mm-mm. Yeah, absolutely. Leave the total tops and bottoms at home. Yeah, you can't be total nothing. If you total something, that means you don't like me. What, to me, in my brain, that means you don't like me. Because if I want to do something, you should like me enough to want to explore it. To me. And if you don't, that means you don't like me enough. So I'm out. Do you think there's a verse agenda? Yes, I hope. I want everybody to be verse. My top side feels very compartmentalized from my bottom side because I'm attracted to different types in each scenario. No, Marissa, you on to something because that's right. I love to. Let me tell you the type of boys that I like to top. So if you are my size or smaller, I want to get in them yams. Not like you gotta have a fat booty, like it need to be. But if you are like my size or smaller, I wanna get in them cakes. Now, if you tall and you got a big booty, yes, I want to get them cakes. It's really about the shape and look of your booty. So I want that to be that's number one. If I want to get in your cakes, is the shape and look of your booty. But my favorite experiences are either dudes who got really fat booties that's shorter than me, or really like round ass dark skin booties. Like those ones that be on the be on the gay porn that be all oiled up and just black and just chocolate booties is everything. Um if I'm topping, I want a handsome dad next door vibe. Yeah, if I don't know. It depends on how your booty look. Depends on how the booty looks. Do you think that the position is like orientation, where most people fall on one side of the spectrum? I think that everybody we just like we're discussing, everybody rules and how they think about gender. I think that's where topping and bottoming come in. I think that there is a mimicking trying to happen of the heterosexual community. You the girl, I'm the boy. You the top, I'm the bottom. Blah 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 blah. I think that there is a mimicking trying to happen and rooted in cis heteronormativity, but some of those it starts to kind of don't make sense because this is two queer bodies. And so how we are making it work, how are we doing it, how are we experiencing it? If you're watching, make sure you thumbs up. It is 45 people in here and only 27 people then thumbs up. If you are enjoying the conversation, thumbs up like this. Yay. Oh, that's the start. That's the Yay. We have to subvert those gender norms in my bedroom and then go back to normal. I also think that it's hard for me to find I don't want to say good partners, but I have a thing about aggression that many men don't know how to mix. So for example, I like to be aggressively pursued by men who are submissive in the bedroom. And submissive don't mean bottoming. I just explained that I like a top. But it's usually if you find a man who has the aggressiveness to pursue you, they want to be aggressive in the bedroom. But I like a dude who pursues me with aggression and thirst and lust and wanting you. But then when we get in the bedroom, take me. Use my body for your pleasure. Yes. So, yes. Um, let's see. So, sexuality. Let me see. Did I miss some questions? I think I did. Oh, to answer the question myself, I think, yeah, men who want to be, mine is not, mine is high. I want to say like 70. I want to say 70. Um, but also it changes over time. I've met guys who didn't want to do any bottoming, and then we've been fucking around for 5, 6, 7 years, and then, oh, I kind of want to try this. And then they start having these conversations about, I want to do something different. Ooh, I want to try something new. Try to do this and try to stick your finger in it and try to do this and try to. And they start to ease you into the conversation, and just over time they will. Yeah, just over time. That I'm trying to think of very few. I'm trying to think of any. Has they never tried to go there? Definitely not nobody long term. Everybody who I have dealt with on a long term level, my cock has gone in their butt at some point because they wanted to. Um, yeah, especially of time. Now I'm trying to think of like initial. I want to say initially, if we're just talking about like first hookups and da 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 da. It's hard for me to say for me because I'm somebody who, as I've gotten older, I'm very clear in what I want and what you got to do. So when a dude hits me up and he's trying to hook up with me, I say up front, I'm a tit for tat kind of girl. If you want what you want to do to me, you need to let me do to you. And so they'll be like, what you mean by that? Whatever you want to do to my body, I want to do to your body. And it's a setup, though. Know that I'm manipulating, not in a harmful way, but I know the type of men that I attract. They want to top me because I got a fat ass. The kind of men that I attract, they want to, they want to see what these cakes is doing. And when they know I'm trans, like, yo, I'm trying to see what them cakes doing. Yes, but I'm trying to see what that mouth doing. But so remember, my goal is to see what that mouth doing. That's my goal. I told y'all that's my head. Head is my T. Munchers win my heart every time. Head is my T. But I know that they want to top me because I got a penis. So this is the thing about it. So if I say we gotta do whatever you want to do to me, I gotta do to you. Usually a normal dude, now you come across the ones that's buck wild, we want to do everything. But normal, the ones that the common one, what they will do is because they don't want to get topped, because usually I'm coming across somebody that may be new to it or, not all the time, but they don't want to get topped. So the compromise is, well, if I gotta do something, then it's not gonna be getting topped. It's gonna be I'll give some head. I'll give some head before getting fucked. That's usually when you come across the ones that identify with being heterosexual. They much rather give head than get fucked. Because for some men, the getting fucked part is the putting yourself in the position as a woman. So if they had to do either or, I would love to survey heterosexual men and say, if you had to do either or, get fucked or suck dick, which one would you do? I would love to see a survey of what they would choose. Because usually they choose the head part because we can just go ahead and do it. And instead of me getting fucked. And plus the stereotype that it may be painful. You know what I'm saying? So I usually end up on top because they just want to give head. They just give me some head because I only want to get some head anyway. So cool. And so you come over here, I give you head, you give me head, I give you head, and you go home. And eventually we do that for long enough to where a nigga like, I want to get in them cakes though. Well, then I want to get in them cakes though. We verse over here, baby. So when you ready to clean out and lube up, then we can do what we need to do. And so that's usually how I end up getting into cakes. And then sometimes it's just more natural where we're just kind of in the moment and I'm touching and feeling down there and they just let you slide on in, which is sickening. Love it. Um yeah, it's very uncommon for them not to want to munch or will be unwilling to munch. I think cakes is harder to get than mouth to me, in my experience. I don't know about somebody else's experience. But I also think the culture is shifting. I remember when I was younger, in my teens and my 20s, you just would the trade is just different and not in a they just have different levels of exposure. It's very seldomly that I meet a dude who's never ran across a trans woman at some point. And because of this kind of renaissance that's happened with trans people, we used to run into dudes who didn't have set politics about trans people. Now, because of politically, the trans identity has become political. So many dudes have mindset about trans people that prior to this, they didn't have that. You didn't run into dudes who had these strict rules about trans people. Oh, there was dudes who may have run across the idea, but just having the rules of, oh, if I meet a trans woman, this, if I meet, I would do this and da 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 da. That didn't happen. You would meet dudes who didn't have any idea, political idea of what a trans person was, and so they didn't have these rules. It's like, oh, I don't know what's it. I would meet dudes and I would tell them I'm trans, and they'd be like, listen, I don't know what that is. Especially when I was in Mississippi. I was like, I don't know what that is, but you beautiful. And whatever we gotta, whatever, how can we do what we can do? And this is in my time of life where I didn't have more, I wasn't as versed as I am now. I was more bottom girl. So in that regards, they was ready. I can stick my dick in there, let's go. and have some fun. So you wouldn't run. I remember this dude named Cookie. Baby, they had told him my tea, and he came in that room. Bonnie Louise, I told y'all about that. Bonnie Louise told him my tea, and he came in the room like, I don't know what's going on, but you beautiful. And all of them, it wasn't just him, it was him and this fat boy named Dwayne and Dedrick. Dedrick was the fine one. Cookie was fine too, but Dedrick was the fine one. And honey, she had spilled my tea to them. And all of them was like in accord. I don't care what you are. We want you. What's up? Do they ever feel guilty about bottoming or they just enjoy it? Oh, they do be feeling guilty, Shonette, for sure. Some of them, not all the time, but some of them, you have to have these fucking conversations. But that's anything queer, especially if they like had a religious upbringing. That shit can really make them weird. But they will feel guilty, and you got to talk about it. And they'll hit you up and talk about it for months, or they'll ignore you for a month till they get horny and hit you up. I don't know if I want to do that again. All right, then. But can I top you still? No. If I ain't getting in your case, you ain't getting in mine. Damn. All right. So we'll have those kind of moments where they'll talk. Um, well, you have to like, I don't want to say talk them off the ledge, but I've had men actually sit and cry. Especially that's usually happen with clients. Like they'll be all into it and doing it. It's a very dangerous situation too, especially if they would like got some killer instincts. You get killed fucking with niggas like that. And you're not fucking with them as in doing something to them, but they haven't worked through it and it can kind of break them. I've had that experience where I had to sit down and be a therapist. Like, nigga, it's just sex. It's not that big of a deal. Post nut clarity. But are they really clear? Is it really clarity? I call it post nut guilt, post nut shame. Um, I've had that a couple of times. That's like I done had it a couple of times. Like one every 100, if that. You got to get your things in dip. No, sometimes aftercare is important. I think sometimes after you can't be getting violent, but I think sometimes aftercare is important. It's not only important just on a humane level, but also if you're a sex worker, that aftercare can lock it down with him for a long time. I've had clients that have been seeing me for years based on our built relationship on that, just those kind of conversations around it. And me rushing them and pushing them out would have messed up so much money down the line. Now you ain't gonna disrespect my time. If I got a client, you're getting out. But if I have enough time and the session is cool and I don't have nobody on the way, then I'll do the aftercare work. Not even just with bottoming. These niggas can text me when they got home and say, that was fun, but I'm not doing it no more. Oh, child, that's annoying. And then a month later calling you. Didn't ask you to do it this time. You begged me. Right. Um, I've never had a person not come back. I've had a person say they wouldn't come back, but I never had a person not come back. They'll have that kind of, oh, I'll never do that again. Sure. Okay. A month later, 6 months later, a year later, ready. Um, what is the most queer sex that y'all have ever had to you? And when I say queer, queer, like TG said, queer and norm is interdependent. But norm, your norm, may not be the heteronorm. Do you see what I'm saying? So your norm, what you normally like, based on you being the norm, whatever you normally like, what is your most queer sex that you've had? What is the sex that is out of your norm that you've had? Where you were like, ooh, this is kind of freaky. This expanded my sexual palette. I'm vanilla. I think I'm vanilla too, in general, compared to what I hear other people do. But you a whole tranny. Can you be vanilla? Doesn't the fact that you are a tranny makes it not vanilla at all? You gotta teach me what unicorning is. What is unicorning? Unicorning for couples. What's that? Having threesomes with couples specifically. Oh, I had a few clients like that. Cat Blacks talk about union hunters. What is a union hunter? Unicorn hunters? Is that what you mean? Yeah, I've seen that. Especially like at all inclusive adult resorts. If you were there, oh baby, they will try to unicorn you down. Let me go get me something to drink. I feel like my gay is boring. What is the most exciting thing that you've done? What was the thing that was like, ooh, this felt freaky? Yeah, I got a high body count, but I don't think I have a high freaky out the box shit. Unless like to a vanilla heterosexual, my shit may be out the box. But I be having regular sex. Getting fucked, fucking them, getting head, sucking them. It don't be anything extra. I think I had like a oral sex threesome when I was like, not I think I did. When I was like 17, me and my homegirl, Monique, and a piece of tray that I had named Greg. But I've never had any vagina. But that's the most sexual engagement that I've had with a girl. Um, Kool-Aid. Not Kool-Aid. What's it called? Mio. That little the shit you squirt in water. Berry Blast Mio. um Trying to think of, yeah. You're not into trans women either, no. Mm-mm. I would be with a cis woman before I would be with a trans woman. I know that may be surprising to some people, but yeah, I would be with a cis woman before I be with a trans woman. I found no interest in the trans woman body. That is not a juxtaposition that I like. I'm glad other people like it, but I don't. Yeah, I'm not having nobody with no titties on my back. Um, I don't like getting pegged in regards to like fake penises. So, have you been with a cis woman before? I have never messed around with a cis woman alone. I have never had a vagina. My penis has never been in anybody's vagina. Um, I have kissed and made out with a trans man, kissed and let him suck on my titties. Um, I've let a gay man give me some head multiple times. I got my titties sucked by a couple of gay men. The first night that I met Nunu, y'all know Nunu from YouTube. First night I met Nunu, we was on Blog TV Live, and he was sucking on my titty on live back in the day. I think that was 2011. That was funny. But yeah, sometimes like when you on Jack, sometimes the butch queens will hit you up and want to give you some head. And I let them come suck me up. And they go home. I ain't gotta do nothing to them. They just give me head and they go home. So I've never been with a cis woman that's just like a regular cis woman. By myself, like just me being with a cis woman. No, I've never done that. I've never eaten pussy. Have I sucked on some titties? Yes, I've sucked on some titties. And that in that threesome when I was 17. And I sucked some titties in college when we were playing Truth or Dare. Trying to think of all my cis woman activities. I held some pussy lips open while a lesbian was eating out another lesbian. Do you find studs attractive? Some of them. Not Young Ma. I don't find her attractive. Yeah, some of them I find studs attractive, but it needs to be a certain. You can't be acting like a nigga. I like studs to act like you. I like it to just be natural masculinity. Like it's some of them they be giving like they performing, mimicking cis dudes. No, not the Brad is too feminine for me. I hate putting drinks by my computer because then I get anxiety about spilling. Trying to think of. They got to be smack dab in the masculine. It can't be. It can't be. I could see Jessica. I could see. I need you to be a little bit harder. I don't know. It's hard to explain because it's nuanced. So it's hard to explain. I need you to. I feel like I like the masculinity in young Ma, but for sure, Brittany Griner, for sure. Woo! For sure. For sure. If Brittany Griner was dark, she would be perfect. Everything about her. If she was dark, she would be perfect. I would be chasing her with a flashlight in the daytime. I would have now, but if only thing that would make her more perfect than what she already is dark skin. For sure. For sure. Brittany, Lena Wave. Lena Wave give me fuckboy energy. Like, oh, I see Lena. I need Lena to I want to see how Lena be trying to get too. She seemed too nice. I want to see how she roll up on you when she wants you. I need my studs to act like Michael B. Jordan. um. Also, your shape gotta be small. You can't be giving me when you get naked. You giving stripper girl, bad bitch. No, I need you to be slim too. Like, I need you to still be boyish. You can't have no big old jugs and no. I need it to be kind of boyish a little bit. You can't take your clothes off and then I'm seeing stripper. No. That's gonna trigger my dysphoria, child. I'm gonna be like, oh, you a woman under them clothes. No, thank you. No, thank you. You running around looking like Meg the Stallion with no clothes on. Mm-mm. I like all kinds of stuff. The one with feminine mannerisms, the ones with extra masculine. I love the studs. No. No, I like particular types. Brittany Griner is spot on. Spot on. There's this one here in Houston. Every time I see her, I'll be like, God, I would be in love with you. So fine. She's so chocolate. She got locks. She tall. And just her swag is just cool. It's like Raphael Sadiq. Just like a cool, like a cool, like if like Raphael Sadiq was just more like Southern. You remember Castor Semenya? Yeah, I don't find her attractive. I don't find her attractive. I don't find her attractive. Ah, no, 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 no. No, 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 nothing. I would love to date a trans man, but I don't know if I would be fully satisfied. Yeah, I've tried. I've been down that road. No, thank you. No, thank you. I just don't get along with them. I just realize that for whatever reason, I just don't. Oh no, I get along with them on a personal, not a platonic level. I got cool ass trans men in my life, but romantically, I just don't get along with them. I haven't found one that I resonate with at all. Like it don't even get close. She had natural testosterone, didn't she? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, I'm trying to think of who else. Who are some masculine celebrity women y'all like? Do we have any masculine star celebrities? Not Wanda Sykes. I consider her masculine, but not her. What are some masculine c- celebrities? Tracy Chapman. Okay. Any black ones? Queen Latifah. Okay. Michelle Indiocello. But what else? See, I don't consider Grace Jones masculine. I consider her androgynous, and there's a difference to me in masculine women and an androgynous woman. I don't look at Grace Jones and get masculine. I get androgynous, but that's still a woman. It's still woman enough for me not to confuse it. 'Cause I think of her like I think of Stella Tennant. Um, yeah, I know the model Stella Tennant. She killed herself at 50 on her 50th birthday. Um, Stella Tennant. When I think of her, that's what I think about when I think of a more fashion forward version of her. Um, um, yeah, I don't consider Grace Jones masculine. I understand why people do, but I consider her just fashion forward and androgynous. Missy always used to give me stud for sure. A soft stud. I'm sure she probably hated it, but I got a tattoo of Monica Roberts the other day. Oh, that's dope. Why would she hate it? I don't think she would hate it. I think that would be cool to Monica. Sid from the internet. I find Sid to be cute, but there's something about their personality that's too soft, too womanly. I need you to give me a little swag. Sid from the internet. I want to see Sid do more. I want to see Sid do more, work with more people. Something more. She reminds me of Posey from Orange is the New Black. Yeah, she does. And I don't like that kind. I don't like that kind of lesbian. I like that kind, but you got to be a little harder.
We're back, and I'm going to read a little bit from this article published on the Economic Times. The article reads, according to the investigative piece from Daily Boulder, a private lab quietly implemented sweeping changes to voting machines used in over 40% of U.S. counties ahead of the 2024 race. Those changes, the report claims, were made with no public notice, no formal testing, and no third-party oversight. Fucking surprised? No, we're not. This y'all remember when Ivanka Trump got those voting machine copyrights from China? Y'all remember when that happened? I guess now we know what that was for. Let's keep reading. What changes were made to voting machines before the 2024 election? The report centers around ProVNV, a federally accredited lab responsible for certifying voting machines in key states like Pennsylvania, Florida, New Jersey, and California. In early 2024, the lab reportedly approved updates to ESMS voting systems, which included new ballot scanners, printer reconfigurations, firmware upgrades, and a new electionware reporting system. Instead of labeling these as major changes, Pro-VNV classified them as de minimis, a term typically reserved for insignificant tweaks. This classification allowed them to bypass public scrutiny and avoid triggering full-scale testing or certification processes. I need time to process. I need time to process. But this is the best news I've heard since November 5th, 2024, y'all. We back in this. Kamala, I hope you're celebrating right now.
Arrest the president. You got the evidence. That
is that good news? If they're not gonna do nothing about it and they can't prove it, or they can't, if they prove that it was temporary, this is the thing about it. How far do you go with that to where you're not looking like a trumper, a sore loser trumper? Like you need to have your ducks in order to prove that it was tampered with, because if you don't, then you look like a sore loser trumper. And it's so far gone. We're 6 months into the year, into the election of this president. So how do you, like, it gets to a point where it's like, girl, what you gonna do, honey? Okay, they rigged the election. That's what the Trumpers thought too in 2020. So what you child, it just gets to a point where it's too late. I really don't think anything would happen, even if they found evidence. I think we would have to do it. It would have to be a collective uprising, and that would cause a lot of stuff. It would cause a lot of chaos, but it has to be done. A collective and I don't think that we have I don't think we have the balls. You know what killed my mindset about the balls that people have? The insurrection. That was really major to me, because I've always said that decorum is a ball and chain that stops change to me. That a lot of these motherfuckers don't respect decorum. There's a certain, that for us, there's always, it's the way you do it. You gotta go for the right channels. They don't do that shit. Look at what happened with Stacey Abrams in Georgia. There was it wasn't just evidence, it was a flat out theft. Like it's like, yo, it was just it's crazy. I just don't think that, but people just go along. There's no kind of, or Al Gore. Yeah, like the Al Gore situation in Florida in 2000. What? Just go along. That was wow. That's crazy. It's wild. Wild, crazy. Yeah. Even what's going on in California right now, the governor is pretty much just submitting. Oh, I haven't heard him submitting. I heard him saying that he was suing Trump and he told Trump to lock him up. What y'all watching? I didn't see him say he was submitting. I'm seeing Newsom saying, I'm not saying Newsom's great, but the interviews I'm watching, he's saying, lock me up. Yeah, I haven't heard him say he's submitting. Mm. I heard Newsom said he was going to withhold California federal taxes worth $80 billion. Because if we talk about who is feeding the country, they talk hella shit about California, but California got a high GDP compared to the other states' contribution. I feel like it's a lot of grandstanding. Yeah, but grandstanding isn't submitting. I don't consider those the same thing. It's California, and MA. They make a lot of money for the kiddies. I don't know. We also are in new territory, y'all. This is a lot of shit. This is really new. California GDP is fourth in the world behind US, Germany, and some other country. Yeah. I need the mess to be messing. Do I need the mess to be messing? Honey, I need the is it James Wills Booths and the Lee Harvey Oswald energy to come back. I need, if I'm to, I don't need no mess. I need the Leah Harvey Oswald mess to come. if I'm talking, yeah, that Luigi energy. That's what I'm looking forward to. But that's also, let's say this. That's also scary in the sense that will trigger a reaction from a different type of people. And I feel like the most vulnerable people that will be allowed to be thrown away and gutted and killed and is going to be the enemies that they are attacking right now. Trans people and immigrants, they'll be out here shooting and killing to do that. So I don't know if that's a can of worms that I want to open up as a trans woman. I got my gun, so it's like, I don't know, child. It feels weird, but it feels like, child, let me be out the country when y'all get started the race and culture wars, the violent culture wars. I want to. I don't want to say it. There's a couple of things that I'm like, why certain things ain't happening? There's a lot of stuff that could be happening right now. It's a lot of stuff, and it's bad stuff, so I don't want to say it, but I'm thinking like 9/11 stuff. Because I don't want innocent people to get killed, but I feel like only chaos will get people. Think about when we have change in this country. It's only after a couple of years of chaos. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we're at the start of them couple of years of chaos. Yeah. There's not enough. I need the former allies. They're having the conversation. Well, I'm thinking about, like, have y'all watched the documentary on Netflix about Vietnam? Y'all need to watch that. I don't think we ain't gonna talk about it, but y'all need to watch that. That gave some deep insight on how we were just over there in their business. We were over there in their business and got beat up. Like, we didn't win the Vietnam War. Like, we was over there in their business and got beat up. We didn't beat them, they didn't beat us. It was like a stalemate. They were wearing us out and we were wearing them out. It was never a win. It was never, you get what I'm saying? They were wearing us out. And we didn't even need to get into it. Like, we didn't even need to get into it with them. It was between the French and Vietnam. It wasn't even us. We just came over there. First, we was helping the French, and then the French was like, when the French got wore out, the French was like, damn, these motherfuckers wore us out. We about to stop fucking with them. They crazy. The monks was burning themselves. It was wild ass shit. They were wearing it out. They were doing shit like training the women to fight, opposed to their armies. Honey, they'll come in villages full of women and they slicing their throats. The women are. They was playing games that they weren't used to motherfuckers playing. wearing nasty traps. Yes, they was wearing their ass out. And so French was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. We about to leave y'all alone. And then the U.S., who was supporting the French at the time, when they get done, the U.S. was like, oh, y'all punking out. Oh, shit. Y'all tripping. Turning Point Vietnam War, yes. Y'all punking out. Well, we'll go over here and take care of what y'all was doing. We'll come over here and take care of it since y'all done. We'll come over here and get it done. Baby. Because they were trying to stop the spread of communism. Child, them Vietnam people said, oh, what's his name? Ho Chi Minh. He said, oh, okay. French State getting ran home. All right. Get up out of here. Then Vietnamese people said, get up out of here, ho. And they tipped on right on out. And U.S. thought they was going to come in, being a bigger, better army. Baby, they was wearing their ass out. That was a key. And them Asian people, they was not playing with them. I was like, oh, they is wearing it out. They are wearing it out. They didn't like how they were wearing it out when Truman, then they was wearing it out with Lyndon Johnson. They had wore his reputation out so much Lyndon had to not even go up for re-election. Wore his whole little career out. he said, Lady Bird girl, we about to go back to Texas. We about to go. They Truman from Johnson from Texas. And he from Texas. I think he from Texas. Yeah, he said, baby, come on, baby girl. Come on, Lady Bird. We out of here. We about to go back home and live the rest of our life as retired president and first lady. Wore them right on out. Said, I'm not going up for re-election. I'm done. And he was smart because Lyndon Johnson, he was the first one. No, he wasn't the first one. It was actually Robert Kennedy. But he was the first one that was recording most. Robert was recording certain things, but Lyndon was recording all his conversations. So y'all can know what the tea was. So we can actually go back and hear what he was thinking. Girl, why are you being fucking weird? There we go. Couldn't even try to run again. Renounce the war just like Biden wouldn't renounce the genocide and couldn't even try. Yeah. Craig wouldn't even try. Yes. That was, y'all need to watch that. It's so good. It's long, but it goes into detail, and they interview people on their side, on the Vietnamese side. That's what makes it sickening. You get to see what they were thinking too, and why they were doing some of the shit that they were doing. They were trapping, like they had. It was so sickening. They were wearing them out. I was like, baby, this is our land. Y'all know this our land, right? So while you think you about to come over here and run it, bitch, we've been on these lands. And we about to wear y'all out. Yes, it's on Netflix. It's called Brandon just named it. It's called, what Brandon say? Yeah. Turning Point, the Vietnam War. Oh, watch that, y'all. It is so good. I'll talk about it if y'all want to talk about it, but when y'all watch it, because I lived for it. It was my sickening. I was like, what? I had already I hadn't done a deep dive on Vietnam War, but I had already knew that it was a stalemate. But I didn't know that it wasn't their business. That's what I didn't know. I thought that we had some type of investment or something that we were doing. It wasn't just, I don't know what I thought. I thought that there was a reason why we were over there. We were really in meddling in people business. We wasn't even fucking supposed to be over there. It was French and Vietnam at first, and we were just supporting them like, oh, we'll help you a little bit. And then when French said, nah, I'm out of here, we come and take over and got wild. It was absurd to me. I was like, why y'all meddling in these people's business? I was like, so all this shit that we got going on, the vets that went over there and got PSD and then got caught on drugs over there, was over there getting high off of heroin and shit, opioids, opium and shit, all kind of weird ass shit. All this shit that destroyed Black families and, that just kind of had a reverberating, detrimental effect on our community. All this shit that reverberated from the Vietnam War. Deaths, drugs, babies, napalm, all that shit. What was Agent Orange? Was Agent Orange in Vietnam too? What was Agent Orange? What war was Agent Orange? Or was that Iraq? What was Agent Orange? Okay, Google. What war were the soldiers affected with Agent Orange?
The war in which soldiers were most significantly affected by Agent Orange was the Vietnam War.
Yeah.
Agent Orange was a tactical herbicide used by the U.S. military from 1962 to 1971 as part of Operation Ranch Hand. Its purpose was to defoliate dense jungle foliage that provided cover for enemy forces and to destroy enemy food crops. Millions of gallons of Agent Orange and other herbicides were sprayed over Vietnam and parts of Laos and Cambodia. Exposure to Agent Orange, particularly the dioxin contaminant within it, has been linked to a wide range of severe health problems in veterans, including various cancers, neurological disorders, heart disease, diabetes, and other conditions. It has also been associated with birth defects in the children of exposed veterans. Wow.
So yeah, even that shit, all that shit is because we was trying to go over there and be bullies in a fight that wasn't even ours. That shit is crazy. Crazy annoying. And then the gender nuance too, because we talked about in one of my recent episodes the Asian, talk about Southern Asians and seeing how many powerful women that were over there a part of the propaganda machine. Like one of the monks had killed himself, and she called the monk that killed himself barbecue monks or something. And we like, what? And they were like, why would she say that? She was like, what, honey, what is barbecuing yourself gonna do? I was like, these hoes is messy over here. I was dead. Y'all need to watch it. It was so good. Just because they interviewed people over there that was a part of their regime. Like we call them Viet Congs, but they call themselves something else. The Children of the House of Liberation, or the Children of Liberation, something. Like they think when you say Viet Cong, that's a slur. Like they don't call themselves that. They said that's what Americans call us. That's not what we are. Hanoi Hannah. Yeah. I was like, child. Yeah, it was so good. I learned so much from it. I learned so much from just watching it, and it gave me I had a general idea of Vietnam, but all the details of the build up, all the details of working through it and the mindset of like the reporters who, because they interviewed some of the reporters, like Dan Rathers was over there, literally flew over there in the middle of the fight. Dan Rathers been around for a long damn time. He done been in a lot of shit. I love I went down a rabbit hole of Dan Rathers. He has as a reporter, when our fucking reporters had a little bit of integrity, um he was about to get in a fight with the Republicans. He was like, Dan Rather was about that press life, baby. He used to be like, yeah, fuck you niggas. I'm not about to, not niggas, but he was like, nah, fuck you. I'm about to get my story and we about to get the truth, baby. Y'all telling us all this bullshit about this war. I'm about to fly over here and see what's really going on. And y'all been lying to us. Y'all been lying to us. And then this other reporter was like, yeah, y'all spinning this story, y'all not letting me get my story, my real stories out. But US wasn't the only ones doing that. Vietnam was too, North Vietnam, because they were split into two, like North Vietnam and South Vietnam. That was more around like the border, and then the Ho Chi Minh was at the top. And US was coming in South Vietnam, and they were letting them come in. And so what was I about to say? I lost my train of thought. That's how they got over there in the I'm talking about the reporters. The US was actually in South Vietnam, and they were letting them come over there, but they weren't given, but the North Vietnam was given a different spin on what was going on. They all was doing this kind of propaganda shit that was steering their supporters in a different direction. That's why the monks was killing themselves and shit. His documentary on Detroit school systems is so good. Yeah, so much. So there was warriors that they interviewed. One of the girls said, honey, they trained us to cut them niggas' throats. We supposed to be acting like we normal rice farmers. Do, 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 do. And them niggas will try to come in and rape us and shit, and we'll be waiting on them. Oh. They thought we were just weak women, and they've been training us this whole time to wear y'all out, to use the guns. We got guns buried in different parts of our house and different parts of the yard. So when y'all coming in and we got our rice farmer hats doing our little thing, y'all think we ain't about to wear y'all out, and we wore y'all. And they weren't ready for it. And they start, once they got hip to the shit, but that's when the US was like, oh, y'all don't know that we savages though. They was like, oh, y'all must have forgot what we did in everywhere, honey. We don't mind killing you hoes, burning you and this fucking village down. And so they start just being, because they started to get sneaked by women and children. They was training the babies too, because that the soldiers were starting to get snuck up on by the women and children. They said, oh, soon as we come across kill them all, don't even wait. Oh, y'all want to be sneaky? Yeah, we thought we was fighting fair. Oh, cool. Now, ain't no rules. Great. Let's go. We used to that's why you see them videos of the soldiers giving out lollipops and candies at first, because they were trying to be nice. Like, we're not in the war with y'all, we're in the war with the army that we trying to usurp, or whatever they were trying to do, honey. But that's before they realized that the girls were sneaking them. The sound and content of music was the best in my opinion during the Vietnam War. The lyrical content and subject was so intricate and witty. Yeah, I like the era. Come on, Splitters. Yes. I live for that. Let's see. So they said that is a legend. Have you watched Charles by Tyler Perry? Yes, I didn't like it. The Vagina Splitters refers to a legend that circulated among American troops during the Vietnam War about Viet Cong prostitutes who allegedly inserted razor blades or broken glass into their vaginas with the intent of injuring or mutilating soldiers who engaged in rapes. This legend is associated with the historical concept of vagina dendante, which is a folklore and mythology described a vagina containing teeth, serving as a deterrent against molesters or occasionals or rapists. The circulation of this legend among American troops in Vietnam really reflected existing fears and anxieties concerning the Vietnamese women and the difficulty of distinguishing between them and the enemy in civilian populations in a combat zone. Some speculate that these myths may have originated from higher rankers within the military as a means to discourage the soldiers from engaging with prostitutes. It is important to note that the existence of this is a legend and not confirmed as a historical fact. However, this legend circulated within a context where sexual violence against Vietnamese women was a tragedy and the reality. Mm, 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 mm. Aquatofana. No, I've never heard of that. Um, I'm not somebody who I don't mind you telling a story, but I need it to be written well. I don't mind. I'm not somebody like, oh, we don't need to tell any story that has trauma in it. Because most dramas are gonna have some kind of element of trauma in them. Not all of them, but there's gonna be an element of trauma. And if you want more Black stories, especially if they are drama. Now, if you just want to watch comedies all the time, okay. But if you're watching a drama story, then you're gonna have some element of trauma in the story. So I'm not somebody who's against trauma. What I'm against is bad stories, bad storytelling. Like I want you to have more storytelling. I don't mind a slave narrative if it's not the same old slave narrative. I love Django. That was a slave narrative, but I loved that movie. It was great. Um, just as much as I love 12 Years a Slave, I thought it was new and nuanced and had a different element of shit, different type of situation in it. Um, but if it's the same old, then no, it's all about the storytelling for me. And I don't find Tyler to be always the best storyteller. I think the talent in the actresses that he hires does a lot of heavy lifting in his movies. The idea that they tried to execute would have been amazing if he just would have had other writers in there. I want us to be seen in a different light. I don't know. I get it. I know, I understand it. If that light is always positive, it starts to be unreal. He wrote it in 6 days, and it seemed like it. And filmed it in a week, and it seems like it. But I always watch and I always thumbs it up because I want our actresses to have jobs. I want uh, leaders like Tyler Perry to continue to put out work because if these white people can put out mediocre, shitty ass work, we can too, child. I don't want the lack of support to be any excuse. I want, uh, I'm going to critique it. I'm gonna critique it, but I'm also gonna I'm gonna support it. Hmm. He said he is quick because he owns all his sets, cameras, and house, full cast and crew, so everything is efficient. Yeah, but I need you to write better. It's lazy. It feels lazy. Let somebody look over it. I don't know. Yeah, it just doesn't give like I want it to give. They keep they keep they keep flagging my Instagram account for this comment. This comment says This is literally how Ted Bundy got his victims. Like, I posted that January the 31st, and it's a video that I'm just like, because Ted Bundy tricked people into, like, he pretended to be like in a cast and was needing help, and the girls would come and help him, and he would snatch them up and throw them in the car and drive off. And so the video is about something like that. And I was like, this is literally how Ted Bundy got his victims. And just because I mentioned Ted Bundy, they think that I'm glorifying him. And so when I tell them, no, you're taking it out of context. I'm literally just educating people. This is how he got his victims. And they always accept it. I have them review it and they say, oh, we restored your comment. The comment didn't go against, but every like couple of weeks, somebody I don't know if they reflag it or I don't know what happens, but it keeps kind of trying to flag my account. Which is crazy. His ego is so insane and limits the entertainment value. Yeah, but I mean, be this successful, to have the ego that says I'm going to build a studio stage to record shit in. You need a certain level of ego to do that. You need to have a YouTube channel where you're the only featured person. You have to have a certain level of ego. To be, I don't know, to do certain things, you have to have a certain level of delusional egos that I can do this. You got to, like, that's just a part of being an artist, being creative. But it can be limiting if you don't have a rein on it. It can be limiting. So yeah. And you don't grow. It's just a repetition focus on Black women's struggles and hardships. Yeah, I'm actually not mad at that. I'm actually not mad at it. I think it can be better, but what if it was better? Would you be, if every product he came out with was amazingly great stories about Black women, would you even be saying that? Would you have a problem with the repeated focus? I wouldn't. It just needs to be better executed and thoughtful. I think that the idea of it was beautiful. You still would be saying it? You still would be saying the focus would be too much? Yeah, I don't think it's tired. I don't think focusing on Black women storylines is tired at all. I don't think it's tired at all. I think our stories have been not focused on for so long that we have tons of stories about white women's dating lives, white men's stories on coming up out of poverty. We got so many stories about white people. I feel like, child, I want more stories about Black women, more nuanced stories about Black women. I want many as they can. And somebody with the power to do it, I'm not mad at all. I want our corny movies. I want our happily ever afters. What the heck? He do have happily ever afters on his shows. Most of his movies they be happy ever afters. Most of them. Not all of them. I think if it was just better executed, I think it would be dope. But I feel like this is a problem. I feel like if he did that, if he just did happily ever after, then the complaint would be, oh, he's not real. If we think about like Toni Morrison, Toni Morrison had this same problem. She had one. The reviews of her early work was she's not telling the real life story of Black people because she wasn't focused on the struggle. And then when she focused on the struggle, oh no, she's focused on the negative stuff. Da, da, da. You never going to be able to win for losing. It's never going to be right to people. It's either you ain't being real about Black life or you're too negative. It's never going to be, there ain't never going to be no balance. Yeah, I feel like if he had more skill at writing some of his narratives, I don't think it would be as bad as it is. I don't mind it at all. Because that's the levity comes with Madea movies. Like he has his dramas and then he has the fun, happy Madea movies. I think that's for him, that is his balance. I think when he does the comedies, that's his balance for him. And then he'll do something like what's the one with Kerry Washington? Kerry Washington, that was a happy. The one with Kerry Washington was a happy one. That was about telling the stories of those Black women soldiers. So I think to him, that is the balance. He's going to give you this drama, and then he's going to give you these amazing stories about these women, military heroes. I think for him, that is the balance to him. Why Did I Get Married wasn't bad? Not really. I think for him, that's the balance. Yeah, the Kerry Washington one, I don't think that was struggle and hardship to me. I don't think it was struggle and hardship at all. I liked it. It wasn't written well, but I liked it. It wasn't, I don't know. I didn't find it to be trauma filled. There was bullshit going on, but it was a story. They definitely be feeling like Lifetime movies. Where this just isn't written well. It's like the trauma field is more saturated. You think so? Now think about it. Even if you are considering the Madea movies, if you consider his drama, and I haven't even looked at it, I might need to do that. Let me look at Tyler Perry's filmography. Let me look. Let me see what's sad endings. Because I don't find the Madeas to be. Yeah, I think we just have different tastes. I don't want to hear about no millionaires. I'm sorry, I don't. I never want to hear stories about millionaires. Not me. Not if that's just for the sake of doing stories about millionaires. I don't want to. I don't want that. Not me. Oh, he got a lot of positives. Oh, he got more than I thought. Not Emmett Perry Jr. I didn't know his name was Emmett. That's on brand. Of trauma. Ah. No, a lot of them, yeah, it's balanced. It's balanced because I'm looking at all his work from 2005. Go on his Wikipedia and look at it. A lot of this shit is real positive. They have positive endings. They do have happily ever afters. Because all the Medeas are funny and they all end on some kind of high note. Jazzman Blues. 668. Yeah, it's a few dark ones. It's a few dark ones, but the majority is happy go lucky, y'all. Java. Yeah, the majority of them are happy go lucky. Good deeds, positive. Yeah, they all be ending positively. It's more positive than negative. The Oval was terrible. Beauty in Black is his focus on millionaire blacks. The Oval is about political blacks. Ruthless is religious and cult blacks. Gay blacks are in every single universe he has ever created. Span the gamut of all different types of black people. Fall from Grace, Family That Prays. Yeah, I think he has a bad rap in your mind because of the writing, Java. Because it can't be just positive. Can't be the litmus test because he has positive endings in most of his stuff. Most of it is positive. Shit, it's more comedy than anything else. For real, for real. From the looking at this list of his filmography, and I'm looking at the ones that he was credited as producing. And then House of Pain. For Better or for Worse. The Have and Have Nots. Divorced Sisters. She the People. Have you watched She the People? That is positive. With that also is what I love too. Tyler will pull out an old head that we lived for back in the day and give them a whole show. What's her name? Something Alize Jenkins from from the Steve Harvey show. He got her as the lead on a whole new show, and she's like either the president, the president or something. Oh no, I think he's trying. I just don't think it's just written well. I think he's trying to have range. People say it's cooning, but I like it. And that's what I mean. If you get too happy, if you get too positive and happy, they're gonna say it's cooning and not telling the real life. You get what I'm saying? I like all the Queen's men. Yeah, I couldn't get it. It was too much. I felt like that was made for the gays. That was Tyler Perry fulfilling his gay fantasies. The meats are out, booties out, bodies out, all the fine men. He is keeping BET afloat, baby. The Gen X aunties, baby, you right, with no satisfaction of audience. Yeah. But I think it's our job as the audience to critique his work. So I think that you should continue to critique his work, and this pushes him to be better. Cause honey, I'm gonna thumbs it up and I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna give it a try. Now I might not continue to watch it, but I'm gonna thumbs it up and continue to watch it. And some things are just too much, like acrimony was too much. But I'm gonna thumbs up and keep watching, and then I'm gonna go on my social medias and critique the fuck out of it. Because and I tag and I put my hashtags so that honey, everybody can see it. So that it is not. So if he runs across it, I know I'm nobody, but if he runs across it, he sees it. This is my critique, darling. Just like everybody else's. Because I sure thought that this was horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Do y'all have Twitch? Is Twitch something that y'all use? I have a Twitch account, but I don't be going live on it. But I'm trying to see if I should start. Do y'all have Twitch? Any of y'all use Twitch? Or is that for the kiddies? No problem. Thank you for yours. That's what I was saying. Do I have to play video games? I can play video games, but I ain't gonna be oh shit. I don't know. Do I have to play video games? I don't be playing video games like that no more. And I can't be talking and then playing video games. Does that they just be sitting there talking and playing? And I don't play no games that's cool like that. I don't play no games that that's fire like that. I used to watch this trans dude. I'm trying to think of what video games would I start playing. I suck. I don't be. I used to be good. I ain't good at video games no more. Do you got to be good? Some folks DJ and write or make music. But do you get like on there? Do you get flagged for like I don't understand how the money works. Do you get flagged? Like when you put on music, do you Like, do they flag your shit? Like, I can't play no music on here. You'll get flagged if you save the stream. Oh, but the stream, I still don't understand how they make money on the stream. Like, is it advertisement on there? Like, I'm not understanding is it a subscription model? Is it like how does that work? You get money for having subscribers. Oh, okay. See, my audience be broke. My audience be kind of broke. They're like, girl, we pay enough subscriptions. But I wouldn't want to do nothing that I don't yeah, I don't know. That feels weird. I'm trying to think of what game I would play. Your followers buy you gifts like TikTok. Somebody took my TikTok. Somebody hacked it. If you go in there now, it's all kinds of cats and shit. Do you think you'll start playing Elder Ring again? What is Elder Ring? I've never heard of that. Elder Scrolls? They hijacked your TikTok. Uh-huh. I woke up one morning, I had got some kind of email trying to change my password, and I was like, what? And then I tried to sign in, and it just started to be weird. And I was like, oh, Elder Scrolls. So playing Elder Scrolls make me miss Brandon because we played that all the time. That was our game. And it kind of triggers me. I haven't played it since Brandon died. Yeah, it kind of makes me sad because I don't know if you're familiar with the game, but everything kind of reminds you of your team unless you're like a player that you don't have a clique of people that you play with, which is pretty normal. Most people do. You have it's like, so I'm a DPS kind of player. I'm a DPS magic kind of player. So I like to fight. And so usually that kind of game, your clique of people, you need to have a core group of tanks, you need to have a healer and like 2 DPS. That's normal. And so my character was DPS, and Brandon's character was a healer, and he had a healer character and he had a tank character, and he was good at both of them. And so when you're playing and you get somebody who's a suck ass tank, your brain says, "Oh, who's a tank that I know? Brandon." Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's like, damn, I need a tank, and I'm gonna constantly be thinking of Brandon. Oh, I wish Brandon was here to tank for me. And oh, you need a healer. So everything, I just remember trying to play it, and it just felt sad. It felt maybe I can go back to it now, but it did feel sad. It did feel sad. So but yeah, I haven't played it since he passed away. But it was sad. It was sad. It was sad. Mm-hmm. Still listen to y'all post reviews, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild work. I need to rewatch Pose. I haven't rewatched that like I rewatch other stuff. Have y'all seen where they're doing liquid BBLs now? It's basically pump work using hyaluronic acid and other fillers. I haven't seen that, but it's only a matter of time, I'm sure. Is that safe? I rewatched it a few months ago and enjoyed it. Yeah. Mhm. I have a new song coming out that I think is dope. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. I put two new songs on my SoundCloud. If you want to check them out, they're on there, link in the bottom. But I have a new song. I tried to write a pop song that I really, really like. It's simple. It's simple, but it's fun. Simple and fun. But I really like it. I let my brother listen to it. He was like, yo, this is kind of fire. He was like, this real. So just the response of everybody, I think is dope. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's really dope. I can't wait to release it. It's really fun, just a fun song. When was the BET Awards? Was tonight? Interesting. That was pretty good too. Why Cam Newton, not Cameron, Cam Newton got these he got this jacquard ass suit on. I like him to be interesting like that, but what's up with these Karen Clark sheer cankles? They looking real Karen Clark. What's with them? Did he just get off a plane or something? What's going on with his feet? It's giving Clark sister cankles. Mariah got her first BET award. Was she there? Was she actually there? An Icon Award. Come on, Icon. Come on, Free. What's this? This is kind of too busy for me. I like the attempt, but this is kind of too busy for me. I see what she was trying to do, but too busy. It needed to be more sleek. Lisa Ray and the Brat. Okay. Well, let me go watch. Maya. I'm gonna have to watch. Let me go watch. It is 2:00 in the morning. I will chat with y'all later. Make sure y'all thumbs up if you're just coming in late. And yeah, I'll see y'all on Friday. Bye.